Hi, I'm Craig, Okerstrom-Lang, landscape architect from Okerstrom-Lang Limited out of Great Barrington. And this is our design under construction for the new main entrance terrace for the Norman Rockwell Museum. As you can see, here's the main entrance building, main entrance museum designed by Robert Stern Architects. It's about 25 years old. And the terrace, this faces north, and it's by far the highest used aspect of the building that they have for their visitors. And the terrace had been kind of falling apart, and we've gotten some salt damage inside the building from people carrying in salt with their shoes in the winter. So the board of directors commissioned our firm to design a new terrace and slightly expanded. It used to end here at the seat wall. We expanded it 10 feet. And so this will be, and what you see here is a pretty elaborate sub-base system, and this is before we poured the concrete. So just to kind of walk you through this, this is the edge of the concrete pour. It's got an 18-inch haunch on the edge. Some people call that an Alaskan slab. It's to just give it support. It's all set on 18 inches of crushed stone. This sort of olive or light green material is epoxy coated reinforcing rod that you would use on bridges, and it's an old school detail to use that also for flat work, and that's tied in, and these little gizmos hold it up, all these rods up, so when the concrete's poured it falls within the bottom 2/3 of the pour. These is an old school detail I learned from Jack Sizz, structural engineer, and that's called the drainage cell, and the concrete's going to be poured up to here. These are just filled with bivy mix stone, and we put the new granite pavers over this. I'll get into that in a minute, but this allows water to wick out of through any of the joints of the stone. This orange material is the plastic tubing that's for the snow and ice melt system. And Climate Controls out of Pittsfield has installed this. And it's in the concrete, of course. Once it's activated, it will be filled with glycol, which is a material that basically is in there permanently. It really doesn't have to be flushed. And it's pressurized and it's heated by propane. So basically this will go on based on two systems. One is there's going to end up being a thermometer or a brass gauge flush in the pavement over here, along with the moisture sensor. So both of those have to trigger in order for this to come on. But in any kind of ice storm, snowstorm, as many inches as you want, this will be perfectly dry. The biggest one we've installed so far is at Berkshire Museum in Pittsfield. That's been there for 16 years at their main entrance, and that's lasted the test of time. So they're going to pour the concrete, I think tomorrow, and after that cures, I think it needs about 3 days of curing, we're going to install quite an elaborate paving pattern and system. It's called an ashlar paving pattern. We developed it for the Rockwell. And we're using Chester granite from William Stone, which is a native stone out of Tolland, Mass. And I'm literally going to their yard tomorrow to see it in production. But we're expecting that to be delivered later this week.